social media is like it's the obvious place where, I think people like discover products because it's
Yeah.
super visual.
The two biggest opportunities in search are on the social side, where people are searching for things on TikTok and they want to see it, like that visual aspect of it.
I think there is this trend where we're moving back towards like indulgence. Like people want shit that tastes good.
Yeah. When you have a good day on TikTok shop, when something's going viral, Google's doing better, Amazon's doing better, their D2C's converting better. Like everything kind of works better.
Would you ever launch a brand exclusively on TikTok Shop?
Yes.
I had a workout this morning. I was
Really?
up at like 8 a.m.
Wow. Yeah, I gotta get like you. There's levels to
My grandma's 100 today, which
it.
I have her birthday lunch right after this.
Nice.
So I had to sneak in the pod.
Yeah. Happy birthday, grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to grandma.
Shout out to grandma.
Yeah.
She's great. So for those of you who don't know, Sam is the CEO of Spotlight Media. They're a TikTok shop agency.
Hmm.
We've become really good friends. I've been seeing what he's been doing on TikTok and within the TikTok ecosystem. And yeah, I think social commerce is the most exciting thing
I know.
for me
Yeah.
right now in growth marketing and
Yeah.
in commerce.
Yeah.
But I also think like just for you, you're incredibly impressive. Like USC student,
Yeah.
start an agency, remind me a lot of myself when I was at
Yeah.
UNC. But I think you focused very much on like where's the revenue coming from
Yeah.
and then went deep on TikTok shop.
Exactly.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah. The story is actually really funny because I don't know about like different schools, but like I feel like at a lot of like big schools like USC, like everyone thinks about entrepreneurship as like building the next Facebook and Uber and Airbnb. Like everyone's kind of obsessed with like that hyper growth mega billion-dollar business. And that's kind of what we were too. But we realized we're like, okay, if we want to get into an industry, we're like 18. We have no idea like what industry to get into. We don't know kind of like where to start. So we're like, let's just start somewhere and like let's just try to generate some revenue. And before that, I used to make videos on TikTok myself, and I used to resell sneakers. That's like a
Classic.
classic, yeah, it's like a classic pathway to entrepreneurship. But my co-founder and I were reselling sneakers together. I was making videos, posting it on TikTok. This is like we started in 2020, which is like early TikTok, where like everyone was like, "Oh, it's a dancing app," and like they don't want to get on it. But I really saw a lot of potential because like everyone my age was on the app. And when I was posting these sneaker videos, people would DM me and they'd be like, "Hey, can I buy this from you?" And that kind of sparked this interest of like I didn't know the term social commerce, but I was like, there's something here where like you're posting on social media and like people want to shop from it. And we kind of looked into what was happening in China with social commerce, and it was booming there, and we knew it was gonna come here. So we're like, okay, let's just go deep on TikTok. It seems like it's an extremely underutilized platform that has all this distribution, has all these users, but businesses don't really kind of like think about it on a business perspective. So we were like, let's just learn everything there is to learn about TikTok. This is pre-TikTok shop in like 2020, 2021, 2022. So for like 2.5 years, we were just doing a bunch of things on TikTok, influencer marketing, college ambassador program. I was begging my friends at USC to sign up, and I would send it to brands and be like, "Hey, like I have all these like college kids I want to post for you. Do you want to like send those products?" And that
The,
didn't
the
really.
off limits email crushed me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We gotta talk about that. So we were just doing that. It was like 2.5 years of just like getting rejected.
Yeah.
Because no one really wanted to touch TikTok with a 10-foot pole. It was just like dancing app. And then eventually we kind of hit big with not big, but we came up with this influencer marketing strategy where we realized brands were paying creators a ton of money up front and they weren't making money back on their investment. So we're like, let's just pay these creators based on their performance. But performance metrics are hard. Like attribution was really hard before TikTok Shop on influencers. So we're doing it based on view. So CPM was our main KPI, but that doesn't really work for a smaller growth focused brand. So we had like a churn problem there. And when TikTok Shop launched, we were like, holy shit, this literally fixes our
CPI is in like cost per impressions.
CPM, yeah. So we were like,
CPM.
yeah, we were getting like sub $2 CPM on influencer marketing, which is really good because we were paying creators based on how many views they got. If you got more views, you would get paid more. If you got less views, you wouldn't get paid as much. So it was kind of a kind of like hedging or like kind of protecting the brands in terms of how much upfront payment or upfront exposure they had. But it was just views. So a brand would be like, hey Sam, this is great. We got 10 million views, but how much money did we generate from this? They're like, I have no idea. So, there were like link in bio, like super affiliate, social snowball, like using all those links, but there's
It's
just like
just
too much friction.
it's not perfect,
It's not
yeah.
perfect. The creators weren't making money from it, so they wanted money based on some other metric.
I also think it's just like a bad user experience. Like if
Yeah.
you see people on Instagram posting product and then they're like, like link in bio or like
Yeah.
use this code, it feels cheap in a
Mhm.
way.
Yeah, and it's just like you have to remember to go to that website, use that creator's code. Like there's just so many steps that have to be taken, that just like doesn't really work. I mean, it could work to some extent. It's just like hard to know that exact attribution versus TikTok Shop where like everything happens on that platform. Like you have the
You
video.
have a closed loop ecosystem. You can
Exactly.
track everything perfectly. I also think that like there's a couple of things you said in there that were really interesting to me. It's like
Yeah.
social media is like it's the obvious place where I think people like discover products because it's
Yeah.
super visual. Like you see people, you get served a video, organically. You don't know this individual, but you like what they're wearing, you like what they're doing. It's like
Yeah.
such a natural substrate to sell product,
Mhm.
right? But yeah, I mean, pre TikTok shop, I mean, like Instagram shop didn't really work. There was like no way to just easily one to one buy.
Yeah, like, the thing that TikTok Shop did, they really created like, they thought about it from every level. They thought about it from the user experience, the creator experience, the brand experience, even on the agency side, the agency experience, like, they've basically incentivized everyone in the correct way, and that affiliate sampling ecosystem that they've created, like, you just can't do it without that. Like, it just doesn't work at scale without having everything on the actual app through TikTok.
Let's talk about that affiliate like
Yeah.
network. How does it work within TikTok?
So, back in the day, like, it changes a lot, like, a year ago, a few months ago, all you had to do was just, like, send out a bunch of invites, and, like, people would, like, respond and, like, request,
Be
but
more like the one like people who've never seen the
oh,
back end
yeah.
of TikTok.
So, basically, as a brand, obviously, TikTok has all the data on the creators, so you can find exactly the type of creators that you want. So, they have, like, all these filters. Like, imagine, like, all your influencer marketing, like, SaaS products that you use off platform, like, similar to that, but even with more data. So, you can know, like, what like this creator's follower, how many followers they have, or like what's the age demographic of their followers, like all these things that you can play around with. And then you can invite these people at scale to work with you. So you basically send them a message on the back end and it just blasts it to like thousands of people. And these creators get it on their phone. It's like, hey, this brand wants to work with me. And then they get to choose if they want to request a sample to work with you. And when they request a sample, they have this really pretty CRM where it's like, hey, these are all the creators you have to review. Here's all the data about them, how much GMV they've made, their top performing videos, their user demographics. You can go really, like, you can get really nitty gritty with it. But usually, like, you have thousands of people come in, your team goes through each one of them, they select it, they ship it, it's connected automatically to your Shopify. The order gets generated, it gets shipped out to them. Then because the everything happens through the platform, they know exactly when that creator got the product. So the creator gets the product, then on the CRM, they get moved to like waiting to post. So now you know who are the creators that are waiting to post a video for you. Then from there, you could like reach out to them, send them content guidelines, remind them to post a video, whatnot. Then when they post the video, it gets moved to the completed section where like now you have all these videos that people have posted for you. So it's like a really clean dashboard where like you can see that creator journey on every step. And on the creator side too, it's very easy. Like brands are messaging you if you want to work with them, you request a sample. If they accept it, you get the product. You have 2 weeks to post a video. If you post a video, the commission is all set there. Um, it's like they don't have to chase down the brand. Hey, pay me my commission. TikTok automatically knows exactly how much sales that video got. Pays out the creator and then pays the remainder to the brand. So it's like a very closed loop ecosystem that makes it very easy to operate. However, obviously, there's a lot of challenges. Like on the brand side, it's how do you get these creators to want to work with you specifically? Because right now, or probably forever, the creators are going to be more scarce than the brands. Like they're more in demand and there's less of them. So it all becomes from a brand and agency play. How do you get the good creators to want to work with you and make content about your products? On the creator side, it's about like how do you find the correct brands to partner with and how do you like build those relationships with them and how do you choose the products that actually resonate with like you as a person and you can promote them better. So that creator brand fit or creator product fit, I like to call it like creator product fit. That's a very important thing
How do you
to
solve for that?
on the brand side.
Yeah.
Um, I think what's happening right now, a lot of brands just do like a shotgun method where it's like they send out with like these like automated bots like thousands of messages, and a lot of brands don't really think about that creator product fit. They just like
They're just trying to
it's
get
like a lazy
volume.
way. It's just like yeah, it's like the KPIs number of samples we sent out, but that doesn't work. Like you could send 1,000 samples, and if those creators aren't the right fit for your brand, they don't know what to say. They're just gonna make a really shitty video and just you're not gonna get anything. So a lot of it really becomes on that's where like it's very labor intensive. You have to go through these creators one by one, make sure that there's some level of fit, either based on the GMV. So obviously, if someone made $500,000 last month, you want to send them your product if they requested it. But even the smaller creators, like let's say you're like a jewelry brand, right, or like a fashion brand. If there's this like if there's this like creator who's like fit exactly your demographics like young 20 to 30-year-old girls, if that creator doesn't have that much sales, you still wanna send it to them because you want them to kind of, like, have a chance to work with your brand. So a lot of it is, like, finding that creator in the first place and sending it to the correct people, and then it's once you send that sample to them, how do you create those relationships with those creators? And that's kind of, like, a lot of our work kinda comes in is we basically build communities for each one of our brand partners. So, like, let's say you're that same jewelry brand, we when a creator works with you and they obviously it works, like they generate sales or like they're very active, they're messaging you, you want to build that relationship with them and you want to continuously work with them. You want to send them more products, you want to give them higher commission, you want to run ads on their videos. You want to build that relationship with those creators because once those creators find the brand that they can sell, they also want to keep working with you because those creators are making videos for hundreds of brands every single day. So in their head, when a brand works and when they generate GMV from one brand, they're automatically incentivized to want to work with you again. So it's like, how do you hammer in that relationship after like you find that creator brand fit? And that's where like a lot of the creator management part of the things come in.
Yeah, and I think people underestimate just how much work goes into
Yeah.
managing creator and affiliate programs at scale.
Hmm.
Like all the things that you said, but it's also a continuous process of making sure you can identify and keep people incentivized.
Yeah.
The other thing I think on the brand side, such a misconception on launching on TikTok Shop.
Hmm.
Like, oh, I can go out, leverage the platform, work with tons of influencers
Yeah.
and get millions of impressions for my brand.
Yeah.
But the economics of the platform break down
Hmm.
if there isn't that creator market fit or creator product fit.
Yeah.
Because if you're not generating GMV, people don't want to work with you
Hmm.
anymore.
And for the creators, there's an opportunity cost in terms of working. That's the hardest part with cold start brands. So we kind of specialize. I don't know if it's like the harder thing to do, but we kind of fell into it because we became really good at cold starting brands. So a brand comes to us. A lot of our clients are bigger brands outside of TikTok, and they come to us and like, hey, let's scale this program here. But the challenge is no matter how big of a brand you are outside of TikTok, if you don't have virality and sales on TikTok Shop, it's hard to get the big creators because for those creators that are already generating sales, they want to hop on the trend, right? If a if like a product's already going viral, if they make a video about it, they have a way higher chance of making GMV than making a video for a brand that has zero sales. And that's where like that creator relationship on the agency side also becomes very important. And that's why we can cold start brands a lot easier than if you're just a brand yourself because we have those creator relationships. So we're like, hey, we worked with you on X, Y, and Z deals. This is a great fit for for your platform and who you are as a person. Like you're a mom, you're a nutritionist. This is a supplement brand targeted towards moms, or this is a supplement brand that's like perfect for you, and like it's similar to the other brand that we've worked together. Make a video for it. So it becomes a lot about convincing these creators, especially in the early days on the cold start. And we can get into that a little bit more with like there's a lot of like retainer deals going around and like a lot of like other ways to incentivize the creators in the beginning, but it's very important to kind of know that TikTok Shop is not this magical sales channel that like you just come on and send a thousand
Honestly, I
products.
think it's really the opposite of that. It's
Yeah.
like one of the I think the, hardest platforms to grow on and to honestly, to build a profitable business, probably the hardest
Yeah.
platform to grow on.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of those things where, like, if you get it right, the juice is worth the squeeze because
Yeah.
of how it, uh, affects the other parts of your
It's
business,
crazy.
right?
Yeah.
And that's, like, anecdotally, we hear that everywhere. It's like you have an Amazon or a D2C brand and they start going viral on TikTok, like
Mhm.
they see the effects in so many different parts of their business.
Yeah.
And I do think that's because TikTok and organic social are like the scaled out version of word of mouth marketing.
Yeah.
And people don't really understand that. But
Mhm.
I mean, let's talk about the economics of
Yeah.
TikTok Shop because I think that's probably one of the biggest hurdles for
Yeah.
brands to get around.
Yeah, that's what I've been spending most of my time recently because, like, it's one of those things where obviously it's like the new hot thing, so everyone wants to get on. And like it's actually very interesting. People actually only start caring, in my experience, about their P&Ls once things actually start to work out because you're generating that top line GMV and that's where like what everyone cares about. But when you start to look into all the expenses that go into it, you're like, shit, this is really hard to scale profitably. And my advice usually to brands is like, obviously, I don't want to make anyone lose money, but as long as we can get to a break even point, like that's the sweet spot that you want to be at and scale massively at that point. Because as you said, like we see it, like every single one of our clients. I don't have the data on the Amazon side, which is kind of annoying, but on the Amazon side, every single one of our clients is like, dude, like we're seeing such a huge spike on Amazon. Obviously, retail and everything's a little bit more delayed, but they all see this scale, like this halo effect that comes across everywhere. Like when you have a good day on TikTok Shop, when something's going viral, Google's doing better, Amazon's doing better, their D2C's converting better, like, everything kinda works better, and, like, it's kinda like once they get a little bit of that, they want more of it, so they wanna scale, and it's very important to look into all these, like, different expenses that go into it, and I can break them down a little
Let,
bit for
let's
you.
let's break it down.
Yeah.
I think one more point just
Mhm.
on like I think the other channels like Amazon, D2C. Amazon's also one of those pieces where it's like a closed loop ecosystem. And
Yeah.
so because you have, perfect attribution with search advertising on
Yeah.
Amazon, even DSP, which is like their more top of funnel off Amazon on Amazon, like
Yeah.
media network offering,
Mhm.
you do have so much intent data because people are shopping on Prime and on Amazon.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the like let's just take Google search and
Mhm.
Amazon search. Those are demand capture platforms, so
Yeah.
they're really overinflated, like, when it comes to, like, taking credit,
Yeah.
because a lot of the demand is being generated off the platform.
Yeah.
So,
I
I think, like, when we see struggling programs on D2C
Mhm.
or on Amazon, it's like, "Well, what are you doing to generate brand awareness?"
Yeah.
And I think one of the best ways brands generate brand awareness today is on TikTok.
Yeah.
But let's talk about, yeah, like, I guess the implications because everyone wants to be profitable on
Yeah.
their sales channels.
Mhm.
So TikTok is a marketing channel, but it's also a sales channel.
Exactly. It's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone is kinda how I like to pitch it to people and get them to spend more on the platform.
So TikTok Shop 101 though, like what does the P&L look like?
Yeah.
How many slices of
It
profitability are there?
Mhm.
Like what are the different what are the cost
Yeah.
layers?
It can go really deep. I mean, breaking it down on a very high level, you have obviously your GMV, so that's the very top level. Then usually the things you wanna subtract
And
immediately.
GMV is revenue, gross merchandise value.
Yeah,
It's basically like revenue total.
exactly. So it's basically your revenue. A very big the biggest portions of it is the affiliate commission that comes into play. So you usually wanna have a program that has between, depending on your price point, but like 15 to 20 something percent in commission that you offer to creators. One way that we use that commission to leverage relationships with creators. Like if your open collaboration is 15%, open collaboration is like anyone can make a video for you and they get that commission. You want to be like, hey, we have an open collab at 15, but we have our VIP at like 20. And then you use that to like work with those
The
better
better
creators.
creators or the people who are in your
Or
network that you're
exactly.
like, yo, you're gonna crush this.
Yeah, so, like, on the P&L level, like, you usually average out around, like, 18%, something around that in commissions that you give out to creators. Then shipping is, like, a huge next point, and, like, we see that a lot with, like, smaller brands, like, smaller AOV products where, like, shipping really breaks that math because if you're selling a product for 10 bucks and your shipping is, like, another 5 bucks, like, it becomes a very tricky thing because you have to offer free shipping on the platform. It's, like, really hard to convert without free shipping, especially in the early days. There are, like, ways to play around with that to make that work too, but
So basically you have like $5 shipping, so that could
yeah,
be 50% of your GMV.
exactly, it could be, like, 50%. So,
Then you have 20% to creators, give or
yeah,
take.
and then TikTok takes 6%, and
Does
then
Shopify take a rip? Like
no,
TikTok doing payment processing,
no,
everything.
yeah, no, that was, like, we can get into that a little bit, but I know, like,
And
on the
Amazon, like people talk about this too. They're like,
yeah.
you know, how are these other platforms getting involved?
Yeah, well, all that sales that's the beauty of it, like, all the sales and, like, all the money happens, like, everything happens, the transactions on TikTok, so they manage, like, all that transaction fees and everything, so you don't pay extra to, like, Amazon, I mean, Amazon's not even connected to anything here. On Shopify, the only thing that happens is your order basically flows through there. I think they had like a like, back in the day, and that's why, like, the connection is still very broken. Like, one of the biggest things we struggle with our brands is, like, actually making that connection work when an order comes on TikTok Shop, it flows correctly to Shopify. That whole process is so messy because I think TikTok and Shopify couldn't really come to an agreement because Shopify was asking about, like, getting a cut basically, and they were saying no. I think that's why that connection is still very broken to this day. But on the P&L level, you have your GMV, shipping, then the creator commission, then obviously your cogs play like a very big role, and like that's been like a very big part of us as an agency, like working with our brands on their P&Ls. Um, a lot of brands like to actually include that cogs in that P&L as well, which kind of makes sense. Then you have your agency fees. So most agencies do a retainer plus commission. So you gotta like basically bake that into like that whole like if you're doing it on a monthly level on a monthly
So you have
P&L.
another 5% rip. So you have
Yeah.
20 for creators, 50 for shipping, 5 for your agency, plus a base fee. So it might be like 7%.
Yeah, and then 6% to TikTok. So, like, it really starts to, like, eat into that GMV, and you're suddenly like, "We generated 50K this month."
Plus ad spend.
The ad spend, oh my god, that's a huge part, and we can talk about, like, the GMV max and everything, like, it's making it
Also
even harder.
samples too, right?
Yeah, so samples that you send out, the
What is that usually as a percentage of GMV?
um, well, it really depends on your scale, right? Like, if you're a fresh brand with 0, that's the hardest part. It's like your first 3 months, you are bleeding out, like, when I talk to brands, it's like, if you really wanna make this program work, you should be ready to spend, like, back of the envelope math, like 50K in the first, like, 3, 4 months, with the ad spend, with the sampling. There's ways to, like
It's probably more than that though, right?
it's like that's, like, the minimum, I would say, yeah. Like, because, I mean, they all kinda scale together. Like, we're not gonna start spending $1,000 on ads a day when we have no content, right? So,
Sure.
like, your month 1, most of your expenses, you don't really have any ads expense, but you have a lot more on the sampling and, like, the creator stuff, right? But then by month 2, now you don't really have to, like you have the content, so, like, most of that budget needs to go to ads, right? So, a lot of it is, like that's where it becomes hard on the agency side too. It's like each brand is so different and they start at such different spots and they scale at such different paces, depending on their brand recognition. Obviously, if you're a bigger brand, it's easier to scale it. Depending on the product, like that product section becomes very important. So, like a lot of our time basically gets spent working with each brand on an individual level and understanding like where should we spend the money on the next month? Like, should we spend more on ads? Like with one of our clients, we had a meeting at TikTok and we're looking at like other like similar brands in that category. They were telling us that we're sending a lot less samples than the bigger brands, but we're spending a lot more on ads. So a lot of our budget was basically going to ads to subsidize for the lack of sampling.
Samples, yeah.
And the reason for that was it's a smaller brand. They don't have that much inventory to send out samples. So um we we got to figure it out. Like they finally got inventory and we finally started sampling. So it really becomes understanding like each brand's individual challenges and how to like utilize their internal budgets on like the best things. Like maybe for a struggling brand, hey, we sent out 500 samples, but it's really hard for us to get creators because creators don't know your brand. Let's set aside, we can get into this. Like the math actually gets very interesting. Instead of sending 500 samples out, right, for the next month, at the bare minimum, it costs you 10 to 15 bucks on the sampling, right? You have your product cost and your shipping. 500 times 10, that's 5 grand. Instead of sending 5 grand on sampling, let's take that 5 grand and let's create like a competition or like let's target very specific creators. We do this a lot in skincare because in skincare, it's very important for that creator product fit becomes even more important because if I'm promoting a skincare product, one, I either need to have an authority in this space, like I'm a dermatologist, I'm like someone that has very good skin, or I struggled with that specific skin problem. Like if it's an acne product, you want to find someone who has acne. If it's an eczema product, you want to find someone that has eczema, and like use that 5K budget, find these specific people, work with them on a very high, like one-on-one level, give them content guidelines, pay them for their time, pay them for their content, kind of a more traditional influencer marketing, and then get those 20, 30 pieces of content, run ads on them, and that'll basically kickstart your like it'll kickstart your TikTok shop. So there's
Yeah.
many ways to approach
And the
that P&L.
calculus for that is like if you can get a very organic quality piece of content that
Mhm.
speaks to the product, it will perform almost like an organic viral piece.
Yeah, and like the thing is like once it performs, it also creates this like inbound of other affiliates. Like a lot of it is
They're like, "Oh,
creating
I've
that hype.
seen you. I've seen this.
Yeah.
I wanna
Like
work with you."
yeah, and like if you have a really good creator promoting your product, let's say it's a skincare product and you're working with like a doctor or like a skin not a skincare celebrity, but someone that posts a lot of skincare products, videos, a lot of the people that follow them or a lot of people that content lands on their For You page, the creators will also be like, "Hey, this creator is promoting this, so this is gonna blow up. Let me also request a sample."
This is why I think what you just said is literally why the every brand should be paying attention to this platform.
Yeah.
Maybe if it's not necessarily TikTok Shop because it's
Mhm.
not the best, they need to be showing up in some way organically because
Yeah.
even the brands that aren't on Shop, but they have great dialed TikTok organic strategies,
Mhm.
like you're able to build brand awareness in 6 months.
Yeah.
Like some of these startups, like
Yeah.
that everyone knows,
Yeah.
they're really not that big from a revenue perspective, but
Mhm.
just because they're posting videos consistently, we
Exactly.
all know about them.
Yeah.
Because we all know about them, we want to work with them.
Yeah.
Just doors open.
I know. That's like, there's a huge opportunity to, like, there's an education piece to brands, right? And, like, as the
And I'm actually
platform.
just sorry to interrupt, like, that's why
Yeah.
I think a lot of TikTok shop agencies, they're like, "Wow, this is actually a great path to just scaling a brand,"
Mhm.
right? Because you're like, "I could
It's
just generate awareness
yeah.
and grow."
This is I mean, I'm pretty young, so, like, I don't know too much about, like, the history of, like, the whole industry, but, like, from what I've seen, this is the fastest way to grow a brand to $1,000,000. Like, there's no other platform that gives you this leverage that you can I know people and I know brands that it's like they literally started less than a year ago and they're doing millions of dollars in GMV.
Yeah. Alright, so let's
Um,
actually let's actually change the segment and talk
yeah.
about, like, cold start, new brand.
Yeah.
If you're exclusive on TikTok shop, where do you go from there? But, yeah, I honestly thought we were talking about some interesting stuff. Like, we were getting into TikTok being like it's the best place to scale a brand.
Yeah.
Probably highest amount of friction in terms of getting it right,
Mhm.
but, like, if you see a path, like, it
Yeah.
can go pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to, like, TikTok about this literally, like, a week ago. It's a very hard platform to scale, and they're very aware of it too, and it's, like, a challenge that they have because, like, the harder they make it, the obviously, the less money they're gonna make because people can't scale, and that's why, like, you're seeing these a lot of platform changes happen where, like, they're trying to automate the process to, like, not to help brands to be able to do it themselves, right? Like, the media buying aspect is a huge part where it's becoming fully automated with GMV Max, where, like, okay, at least we can take that off the plate, right?
And explain GMV max.
Yeah, so, trying to think the best way to explain it. So
It's if it's tacos, total advertising cost of scale.
exactly. So it's like it helps you understand, or it doesn't. People really hate it because it combines your organic and your. First, let me explain how it actually works. So TikTok Shop, you get thousands of videos at scale, and that makes the media buying process extremely difficult. Like, there's no human can that can go. Like, you need a huge team of people reviewing videos every single day, rotating them in and out, and like you're dealing with literally thousands of videos because of that affiliate system, and a lot of things fall through the cracks because it's like you have so many videos coming in, it's really hard to test. What GMV Max does is that it automatically basically tests every single video that comes in, and it automates that entire testing process for you. Now, the reason brands hate it is because it doesn't give you a lot of the metrics that your traditional media buying gives you. And the main metric that it gives you is ROI. It's not ROAS, it's ROI. So it's like you're spending $1 on TikTok, you're making $5 back. What that counts, it counts the ads, the organic sales.
Affiliate.
If it like it's like the shop sales, the entire shop sales basically. So it could be your affiliate sales, it could be people searching for your product and buying it from the shop tab. It could be an organic sale, it could be an ad sale. So it combines everything and it gives you a channel ROI, which honestly,
They're gonna change that.
yeah, they're probably gonna change it because everyone hates it, but it makes the agency side a little easier
Yeah,
because
you're
now
like,
you're dealing with ROI versus like, like, hey, like,
they should just do what Amazon did where you
yeah.
have ACoS and tacos.
Mhm.
Tacos is total advertising cost of sale. If you invert it, it's just ROI.
Yeah.
And then you have ACoS, which is advertising cost of sale. If you invert it,
Mhm.
it's your ROAS on the advertising side.
Yeah, they okay, like, everyone's talking about it, but I like, they're saying it's a little confidential, but everyone knows, like, they're getting rid of, like, your traditional media buying, like, the VSA, they call it, the video
Automating.
shopping, and it's only going to GMV Max. So now it's like you won't even have a choice if you wanna do your own media buying. Well, within GMV Max, they've added a lot of features where, like, you can remove videos that you don't wanna promote, you can add in specific videos. They have this thing called max delivery because on GMV Max, you basically set a target ROI. You're like, "Hey, your daily budget is $100 and your target ROI is like 5. So as long as it's hitting that target ROI, it spends. But GNV Max is a huge spending problem, especially in the cold start days where it's like it's not spending money because it can't hit that ROI. And I mean, that's normal, right? Like when you're first starting on the platform, even when you were doing your own media buying, you weren't gonna get those specific targets that you wanted in the early days. So they have these like different features that comes in, like max delivery, which is make sure you spend that $100 even if you're not hitting that 5 ROI. Um, or like here's this specific video that I want you to like max deliver on. So there's like all these like features that they're adding on, and by the time they sunset the traditional media buying, they should be adding a lot of these other features and a lot of these other metrics to help brands. Like one big product feedback that we gave them was like customer segmentation, like being able to target new customers versus existing customers. Like a lot of our brands utilize TikTok as a customer acquisition channel, so they don't want their dollars to be spent on people that already know about the brand and are already shopping from the brand. So they want to be able to target new customers. So all these that wasn't a feature. I don't think they've launched. I think they just launched it. But it's like all these like little things that kind of play a big role are being added to the functionalities of GMV Max.
Okay, so going back to like your cold start brand, it's your brand. Would you ever launch a brand exclusively on TikTok Shop?
Yes, like that's something that if I had more time, I definitely would want to do right
Yeah,
now.
let's walk through
Um,
how would you do that?
so what I've learned in the past year or so, like past like 2 years, the product selection is probably the most important. Like we work with some really, really big brands, like brands that you can find like at any retail store, but it's hard to generate GMV for them because their product could just not, it's not a content friendly product, right? We can get into that a little bit more too, but the product itself is so important. And if you can come up with a specific type of product that has that like content friendliness
Where it's
aspect of it.
designed for content creation?
Exactly. And you can do that with like any category. Like I'm talking to some like beauty brands where like they've really thought about the product development through a content lens. Like, okay, how does it look like when I like if it's a moisturizer, right? Like how does it look like if I'm pumping it out of the package? Is it just a boring tube, or does it have this like really cool functionality that looks weird on camera? Or like when I put it on my skin, what's the color of it? Or like how much can I like play around with it? So there's like all these different things that you can do on every level, even like on every category. Obviously some work better than the others, but that product selection is extremely important. And if you can find something that is easy to make content for, we call it like quote unquote content friendly. So if you can have a content friendly product, it'll just it'll just make your job so much easier because the creators will know how to make videos for it without you having to educate them. When they make a video, it's already if the product is cool, the video is gonna be cool, right? So it just makes everyone's life so much
For
easier.
me, it's like just the evolution of packaging and brand design.
Yeah,
So traditionally, you would have brand designers who are like, okay, how is this going to show up at retail?
yeah,
Like, how do I want the identity to stand out on shelves? Like,
hmm,
this was a huge part of packaging design, right?
yeah,
And like form factor.
yeah,
The really famous examples of this are like Graza for
hmm,
olive oil, just like
yeah,
innovative way to look at
hmm,
olive oil, just
yeah,
different.
yeah,
Or I mean, I talk about saws because, that was one of the things that we thought about when we were designing the labels to
yeah,
stand out amongst tomato sauce. But now I think you have like another permutation and evolution of that, which is like, how is this going to look through short form content?
yeah,
Do you have any examples of a brand that has, I mean, I guess Rode, the phone case is probably
hmm,
like one of the best ones.
yeah. I mean, one of the ones like Groons, green gummies, like that in and of itself is so content friendly. Like people can just like talk about it, right? Um, it's like obviously the packaging and the product itself is important, but like the way that it looks, like in Groon's case, it's like a gummy bear, but it's like good for you. So that like makes it easier. But on the actual product level, or like Breeze, when we were working with them on the Lion's Mane side, it's like Lion's Mane itself was like an interesting category that was like growing on the platform. So people are like talking about it. So you got to think about it both on like the actual product, like people talking about the product, and then the way that you can present it. I will say that's not with every category. Like jewelry, for example, it doesn't like a lot of it just becomes the packaging. Like we literally have videos of like a creator just like showing their ear like this, and the video does like 10K in sales, right? Versus you can never do that in a supplement. It's like
Well,
very
that
visual products and very educational
fashion accessories are just
they're just different.
it's a different beast
Yeah,
because it's like with clothing, it's like how does the garment hang like on your body?
exactly.
It's just like something it's
Yeah,
very, very difficult to
very
replicate.
different. But like, I'm trying to think of like good examples that have like blown up. I mean, creatine gummies was like a big thing. Like
I think we're
was one of the
okay, I think
early.
there's like okay, there's like form factors that I
Yeah,
think are trending. So
yeah,
like gummies, I think we're kind of we
they were
might be
just
at the
hot.
end of that cycle.
Yeah,
Like I really think it's been had.
Yeah.
Um, what else? Like I think then there are like product categories that like
Mhm.
are growing because there are trends just within the consumer landscape in the United States. Like longevity is really big.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess
Like, I think
creatine.
yeah, like GLP-1 is probably gonna have a moment soon on TikTok Shop. Like with again, one thing that's also very interesting is like all these conversations that we're having, they're also very different for each category. Like the way to scale a supplement brand is a lot different than scaling a jewelry brand, which is a lot different than scaling a skincare brand. Like they all require a different thought process and a different approach. And I think that's where a lot of people miss it because you have like all these people online talking about TikTok Shop. Hey, just sample your product, right? That might work for some products, but it really the strategy should really differentiate based on the category and the product level. Um, so that's kind of like a caveat I want to throw in. Like if there's a specific category that we want to talk about, we can go a little bit more into it. But yeah, they
Okay, so let's actually use. I want to hear your take on this, like, and we
yeah.
can use it as a case study. So,
Uh-huh.
I just recently bought Off Limits.
Yeah.
Bringing that big business back. It's not
Mhm.
going to come back as cereal. I think cereal is very difficult for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
But I want to do this thought exercise where we're triangulating what the right product category is
Mhm.
to bring it back as, like,
Yeah.
from Off Limits the brand to a product that would scale really well on TikTok and
Yeah.
Amazon from a margin perspective, but also from a visual content
Mhm.
perspective. How would you think about that?
Um, it's a great question. Do you know like do you still want to stay in like consumables?
100%.
Yeah. Um, Consumables are also very interesting on TikTok. Um, they're actually like one of the easier, not the easier ones, but it's like there's challenges with it. Like it's easier to sample it because a lot of people like want to try it. So like if you think about it from a creator point of view, like sampling consumables is pretty easy because anyone can get it, right? Like you don't need to find niche creators. Like you can really target like a very wide range of people, and that usually makes the job a lot easier. The more people you can target and the more people that can talk about your product, the easier it is. Um, I don't know. I think you gotta help me a little bit here. Like, I don't know where your head is at with the product, like
I
the
think I wanna
category it's gonna be.
crowdsource it.
Mm,
I thought gummies, I was like, "Listen, gummies could be interesting," and you have, like, different, because right now it's, like, very much segmented. You have Grüns who's doing,
uh-huh.
like, basically AG1, and then you have, like, creatine gummies. You don't have a unified one. I'm not sure why, but
Mm,
I think that could be interesting, like, a brand that just, like, owns that form factor.
yeah. So when it comes to the form factors, that's something that like I really take into consideration when working with clients.
Yeah.
Like the reason I brought up like the supplement thing, like even in consumables, like let's say you're like matcha, right? If you're just a matcha product, there's only so much you can say about it on TikTok, like as a creator point of view. But like now you add like creatine and protein to it. It's like it's a little cringe, but it's like now it's like people can actually say something about the product, right?
Yeah.
They could be like, oh my God, like, do you love matcha? This matcha has protein and creatine and like I don't know, like nicotine in it, right? So it's like
Dude,
the
nicotine is Nick is huge right now. You
yeah.
put nicotine in everything.
That's what I like, unfortunately, you can't sell that on TikTok Shop. If you could, yeah, like, just, like, making it easy for people to talk about. That's, like, the biggest thing that you gotta, like you gotta throw your creators a lob, you know? Like, it's like, "Hey, it's easy to talk about this product. This product sells itself,"
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Like, it really reminds me of, like, Oliver and, like, Tab's chocolate, right? Like, this is pre-TikTok Shop. He wouldn't be able to sell it on TikTok Shop, but it's like all those creators were just able to easily use crazy hooks, right? It's like the easier you can make it for those creators,
Yeah, the more you're
the
gonna sell.
the more you're gonna sell. Yeah.
I think for Off Limits, like
But even on a product level, like I think the way in the next few years, the two biggest opportunities in kind of like search are on the social side, where people are searching for things on TikTok and they want to see it, like that visual aspect of it.
healthy, but
Hmm.
I don't think it's all like prebiotic soda that's like,
Yeah.
making you feel incredible.
Yeah.
So I think the Off Limits brand, it needs to be something that feels like indulgent when you eat
Yeah.
it or consume it,
Yeah.
but it has like some peel back that's good for you.
So if that's the case, it's like I will say price point becomes very important in consumables. Like TikTok Shop at the core is a discovery platform, right? Like no one's really going on there and searching for like a specific thing. Like if I want to have a search experience, I still Amazon is always going to win, right? TikTok Shop is like I'm scrolling, I'm watching these funny videos, and boom, like
You
I
know,
see this like really crazy product,
I
right?
I do think so. I was talking to the Amazon team.
Yeah.
I think the fact that they don't have I mean, they have some incredible parts of their ecosystem
Mhm.
and competitive advantage in their logistics network, like, it
Yeah.
just, like, hits so hard. But you can see where TikTok's trying to take this. They're gonna launch subscription in
Mhm.
September,
They already have it for some, like some of our brands are in the beta. It's small, but like they have like 200 subscribers, which is
but it's like, if you're gonna subscribe, you want something that is expedient,
yeah,
and, like, Amazon wins on that right now.
exactly. Yeah.
But, like, you can see TikTok's trying to build out their fulfillment network,
Yeah.
and they're trying to compete. And then it's like, okay, you have this closed loop ecosystem where you can push product, you
Yeah.
can generate demand, you can
Mhm.
work with affiliates, you can search for products
Yeah.
too. I think right now it is very much discovery based,
Yeah.
but I think I could quickly see it moving to a place where you have higher price point products and
Mhm.
it also has a much larger assortment.
Yeah, it's the way that I see it and the way that the reason I'm very bullish in it, I think about it from like my point of view and like my generation, like as Gen Z starts to get purchasing power, people search for shit on TikTok. Like if I'm like you can take it on any level. Like I was just in Dallas, like I don't know where to eat. So I search on TikTok best places to eat in Dallas, right? I want to see things. I don't want to read a 10-page article on like the best restaurants. Same thing with like let's say your thing. Like if I want to find a healthier, yummy cereal, right? I'm going to search for it on TikTok and I want to see people talk about it. Like that visual aspect and like seeing people talk about it is a huge thing that I
It's
think it's going to come
social
up.
proof, seeing is
Exactly.
believing.
Yeah.
I mean, for restaurants, it makes so much sense. You see
That's
the
a
stuff that's
huge business.
getting like
Mhm.
actually delivered and
Like, I see so many of these
served.
viral videos, like, it's kinda, like, being overdone now, but it's like, my dad, like, quit his job and, like, built this restaurant and no one's coming, please support, and you see the video has, like, 10 million views, and, like, you search a restaurant on Google and has, like, 10,000 reviews because like, people are, like, supporting the business, like, that's, like, a whole different thing, but even on a product level, like, I think the way in the next few years, the 2 biggest opportunities in kinda like search on the social side where people are searching for things on TikTok and they wanna see it, like that visual aspect of it, and also we talked about this on, like, the large language model where, like, you're talking to ChatGPT, like, "Hey, ChatGPT, like, what protein should I take?" And, like, if you can combine those 2 things together, even, like, on an individual level, I think those are where, like, I really see the future of, like, search going into. But as of right now, kinda going back to your early, like, thought exercise, like, people are still using TikTok Shop as a discovery platform, and that's why like price point is like still a very huge problem on TikTok. It's hard to you want to make it an impulse purchase, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's a lot of things that kind of go into it. It's like you need to have free shipping, even if you're not discounting it, like do a high-low pricing where like you price the item higher and run like sales.
You need to make it direct response. This is why the content's so important though
Yeah,
too, because it's like you need to make it so compelling that people want to buy it
like
right then and
immediately
there,
right then and there.
which isn't like a natural thing
Mhm.
for people to do when they're just like on social.
Yeah,
Like I think Meta was kind of the first rendition of this, and now
yeah.
you see it on TikTok.
Mhm.
But like that's why I think for brands, like when you're growing a TikTok shop program, you need to contextualize how important it is
Mhm.
for your other channels that you're running.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be able to have that connective tissue to Amazon
Mhm.
or to D2C,
Yeah.
because otherwise you're just gonna view it as a profit, like a loss-making channel.
Yeah, it's I think like for every one of our clients, like the biggest thing that we like the thought exercise that we work with them through is like the day we sign, you want to have at least a 30, 69 day plan. It usually always changes after day 30 because like TikTok shop changes so rapidly that like if you're not changing your strategy all the time, you're not doing it correctly, in my opinion. So just having like a vision of where we want to be in like 3 months and like working towards that, but keeping in mind that like once this hits, like even if you're investing 50K in this platform, if it hits, it's gonna really change your business like forever. Like that halo effect and like that growth, it's just like a very hard push, but once you actually get through it, it's like it's game over. Like you're gonna turn your brand around like overnight. Um, it is hard to keep that virality though. Like I've seen a lot of brands like go up and down like that. There's a huge cycle, and like in your off limits exercise too, it's like that's a huge challenge in one product shops where you see like that product really blow up. Supplements
Yeah, how
are
do
a
you
huge
keep that
problem.
going?
How do you keep that going? And it's like it's really hard because like you really do hit like a platform fatigue where it's like,
Yeah, you have, like, a flash in the pan, and it's like,
yeah,
how do I keep people engaged and
like
interested
your
in this
top
brand?
creators have already made videos for you. It's hard to keep your creators engaged because like how many times can that one person make videos about that same product, right? Like it doesn't really
So
work.
how do you think about that?
Um, well, it's usually like most of our brands have multiple products and like we actually utilize that. Um, we basically think through that. The creator, like that creator relationship is very important because of that reason, where it's like, hey, let's find your top brand product, like your top seller, blow it up, work with these creators, but use that product to then channel those creators to your other products and really scale a shop. Don't scale that product, right? Like you start with one product, but you need to have that long-term vision of like, okay, once that product scales, how can we utilize the hype around this product to get the other ones? If your brand doesn't have more products, there's nothing I can do to help there. Like just you got to develop more products, but most brands have at least like multiple SKUs. So it's like choose your top one, scale it, use those creators, use that hype to then scale your other ones. And that's how you build a very healthy shop. Like I've seen so many brands that come to me and they're like, hey, we used to do $200,000 a month. Now they're doing nothing, is because you see, they only focused on that one product. And when the hype died, they never funneled that creator system or that whole like ecosystem of creators that they already had engaged with them to their other products. And now you have to start from zero again because those creators forgot about your brand. No one really knows about your brand anymore. So it's like really dig deep once you find that winning product.
What's your favorite category on TikTok Shop? You're like, oh, I can crush this.
So I kind of break them down into two categories: visual products and like educational products.
Yeah,
Visual, kind of what we talked about, jewelry, fashion. I really love that category because like it just like you just find the right creators, send them the product. You don't really need to focus on like working with those creators on a one-on-one level, hand holding. Because on a jewelry product, if you have something that looks good and if you have creators that look good with it, that's it. Like that's what you have to do. And also makes your job a lot easier on other things. We can talk about that too. It's like we're talking about affiliate, but TikTok Shop has like doing live streams and your own brand account. So there's like all these like other avenues that you can generate revenue from on the platform. So those visual products are just very easy because like on the live stream they also look better, right? Then on the educational side, I still like them a lot. Like we do a lot of work in skincare because it's just a different strategy, but we've kind of figured it out. It's a lot more finding the right creator, working with those creators on a one-on-one level, building those relationships with them for like that one hero product, then scaling the other products with them. So both of them work really well. We do a lot in skincare and jewelry and supplements, I would say. Those are like the top three. Home equipment too. Home is like really amazing too because home, like kitchen products, right? Like you can make easy affiliate products. It has a huge TAM. Like every creator can make videos about it. On live stream, they do really good because you can do like a cooking live stream, right? Like if you have like an egg cooker, you can literally cook the eggs on live, right? On the brand account side, it becomes interesting because you can easily like make content about like that about the products and post it on the brand account. So there's a lot of good categories. Some easier, some harder, but we've kind of like figured out the strategy around most of them.
nice. Sam, thanks
Yeah.
so much for your time, man.
Yeah, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
That went by really quickly.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.